dual citizenship, UK and the Gambia. Ban ngay pledge allegiance. You must have to pledge allegiance to benn dëkk boo xam ne it's your nationality. Nga xam ne du nekk a conflict of interest. In the case na ñaari dëkk yi am nañ that riffraff. Yow nga nekk in the center of things, what will you do? It's funny. So these are some of the reasons why loi bi du la dangu pour nga am dual citizenship and you contest or nga war a dem pour public office and stuff. So ñoom waroon nañoo mën a detect lii, then after ñu push ko to the IEC, but now ñoom ñu ngi wax ne xamuñ ko woon.
Yeah, and even if you look at the report, it went further. According to the lawyer, he said that he believed that the IEC should have made at least an effort, to inquire about the alleged dual nationality of Fatoumata Njie Tuma. Once there is an allegation of her disqualification, they went on to further say that having gone through her nomination, without qualification, she is further disqualified under Section 91(1) of the same constitution, which provide that a member of the National Assembly shall vacate his or her seat subject to subsection 2 if any circumstance arise which, if he or she were not a member, would cause him or her to be disqualified for election as member or nomination as a member. And they said this is very clear terms, as it simply means that even after being sworn in as a member of the National Assembly, she can still be disqualified if she holds dual citizenship or nationality of another country. So according to the lawyer said it is my instruction that it is your duty as the IEC, as institution responsible for the conduct of a free and fair election, to make sure that only eligible and qualified candidates are nominated, and if you fail or refuse or neglect to execute your duty, I have instruction to institute legal action against you and to seek a clarification that the nomination and election of Fatoumata Njie is unconstitutional and should be declared null and void, and to declare the seat vacant for by-elections.
Wow. Okay, I also want to put this in place. Like, what if the IEC did they not do a thorough investigation when the nominations
I think
were
those are among the criteria that IEC always
looks out for.
They used to vet candidates, as to whether they're qualified or not. And one of them is this dual citizenship. Even if you look at the presidential election, I think this dual citizenship was issue of concern.
Even Dr. Ismail Cisse had to renounce denounce his dual citizenship.
But in this case, it will be a little bit funny with the IEC, because we are talking about someone who is not who's someone who has been there before. She contested and she won. She was there for the past 5 years. Nothing like this came up. So obviously IEC would not have it at the back of their mind Neki is having dual citizenship or whatsoever, and then it would have helped so fair that they could raise prior to the elections.
Or perhaps she did not tender those documents that she has dual citizenship.
Or maybe she did not reveal that she have dual citizenship. Citizenship. Exactly.
Anyway,
but the IEC should come up and do something about it. They should investigate to find out.
Dual citizenship, and then li side di wax mooy pour moom xam nga dafa institute a legal action xam nga towards this. So suñ demee ba to a point boo xam ne dañoo declare xam nga his nomination and victory to be null and void, then obviously loolu tam beneen wax la moo nekk.
Definitely.
beneen wax la moo nekk.
What do you mean by beneen wax la moo nekk?
Li ma mean beneen wax, I'm not saying coow, but it will go down in the history books. Definitely. It will go down to the history books. Because for the first time for them it happened.
So fekkente ne loolu happen na, people would fault IEC. People would fault IEC. They would say xanaa IEC gisuñu woon lii, they haven't made the thorough the investigation, because anybody can ante dem na foofu bu bugg a taxaw, they make sure nga present all your papers, everything, and then you find whether
presenting the papers might not reveal that. But if I have a dual citizenship, obviously it would not show in all my passports. I don't think so, is it? Does it show in your passport that I'm dual citizenship?
Well, I don't know how they conduct that.
If I have my Gambian passport, then ma tender ko. Ma tender my Gambian passport. Fekk maa ngi am another citizenship. Will it show? I don't think so. So by doing that, foguma dinga ko war a mun a xam. Whatever mechanism they have to use to detect that, I don't know. But I am just suggesting that su nekkee ne noonu la demee, they might not know whether you am nga dual citizenship or not.
I don't know.
So it will be a funny situation. But li gën a funny sax mooy comme li ma doon wax la, nekone xam nga di mooy first time contest.
Yeah, but we don't know whether it's true or not. But
yeah, no, we're just trying to analyze for
yes, and I know that at the end of the IC time, you don't have own findings.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then we also see right groups victims discourse bylaw trial in Germany. Human rights organization, the victims of former President Yahya Jammeh and other stakeholders yesterday discussed next week proposed trial of the death squad member bylaw in Germany, as well as the wider effort to seek accountability, for the Jammeh era crime, moderated by activist Reid Brody. The meeting lasted a little over an hour with the participation of Trial International Commission of Jurists, the European Center for Constitutional and Human Rights, Human Rights Watch, Reporters Without Borders, and the Gambia Bar Association. One of them who was addressing the virtual meeting, Baba Haidara, we all know Baba Haidara, a joint plaintiff in the case and son of the slain prominent journalist Dera Haidara, said, everyone involved in my dad's murder will face justice, just like Bailo is about to. We know that Bailo was only a small player in the murder of my dad because the order came from the top. So it's very serious when you have Jammeh sitting in Equatorial Guinea and nothing is happening to him. We want to see Jammeh himself brought to justice. Turning back to even back home, Mr. Haidara said the victims are aware of the appointment of alleged Jammeh enablers like Fabakaton Bonjata and Sidi Njai, who were appointed last week as Speaker and Deputy Speaker, respectively, of the 6 legislatives by President Barrow. We cannot allow recommendation of the IEC, or rather of TRRC, to go in vain. Mr. Haidara. So it was a discussion, among human rights groups, among victims. We all know Bailo is in detention in Germany, and then he's supposed to go on trial. That is next week in Germany regarding crimes that he have committed here in the Gambia. I think that's warranted. Discussion. Pertaining to the trial. Of Bailo in Germany.
Sir, you see, I'm gonna love go fee. gis nga doomi aadama doomi aadama dafa war a bàyyi xelam bu baax a baax parce que li nga def tey moo la dee xont ëllëg.
That's
during Jammeh's time, these people were living.
They're living their life.
They were living their dream. They were living that life. ñu ngi foogoon ne things will never come to.
They never thought
like whatever they do will be hidden and
exactly. So lan moo ko jar dara jaru ko.
This saying that goes, people should start believing in it, that nothing is hidden under the sun.
Definitely. Nothing.
No, why for me, they should have expected that. Why I say they should have expected that, we've seen the late President Jawar rule for 30 years. All right? And 30 years, at the end of the day, one single day, that government came crumbling. And then, a lot of people were taken to tax. That alone should have been a lesson, for those who took over, from the Jawara region.
I believe that would not be
but it was not a good lesson for them.
No, that would not be.
So they thought that Jammeh was going to rule for life. Jammeh was going to be here for life, and at the end of the day,
this is what I am telling you. What that of Jawara.
But if you are a believer, if you are a believer, and if you are a true religious person, you would believe that everything comes to an end, except Allah's kingdom. Yeah.
Because it's serious.
You can be dancing. You cannot continue dancing forever.
We were all here.
You can be dancing. At the end of the day, you get tired. You sit down.
Some people believe that regime was not going to end anytime soon.
Even the one that was ruling himself never thought
he was going. Exactly. So these people that were doing
because
this,
they always say my country.
I'm telling you.
These people that were doing these atrocities, so come on, you have to stop this because of nangam. They will say no. Because they were so comfortable doing it. It will come to light, like you said. It will come to light just anytime soon.
But if you also look at the things that they were exposed to, these drugs.
Meaning they intoxicate themselves before they do certain acts.
So at the end of the day, they were so addicted, that I think they don't even know what they were doing.
Bailo did mention that. Bailo said that in the audio, a special amount that will be for drugs and alcohol. So because they have to intoxicate themselves before they do carry out certain
I know that some of them, even before they were brought to the TRRC, they were in detention, until they distance those drugs from them, until we have what they call the withdrawal in the process. Until you are back to your senses, that's the time that's the time that they were taken to the TRRC. So and then they start to make their revelations.
Xam nga olof dafa am lu olof mën na lu tëgg a tas.
Yeah.
Dégg nga olof boobu.
Yeah.
Meaning olof mën na lu tëgg a tas.
Okay.
Dafa neex rek waaye lu mu yàgg dina jeex.
Yeah.
Dafa yàgg rek waaye moo tax nit ñi li ñoo def dañ ko war di bàyyi xel bu baax a baax especially su fekkee yaa ngi nekk ak government agent.
Yeah.
Bàyyil sa xel because the government comes and go. Nit ñi ñoo fay nekk ak yow ëllëg ak si
exactly.
So yow am na loo xam ne su ñaawee tey ëllëg doo sigee xool ma. mënta nekk am nañu doon rafetal time Yaya Jammeh right now nekkuñu di dox di sigal seen boppay ñu ngi sëgi nit ñaa ngi leen a xool in fact some people are praising them and they were here under that critical condition, that unfriendly environment, but they were so cool ba nga xam ne they didn't do anything bad to people. Understand? Xam nañ lan moo leen war ñu ngi doon liggéey tey ñu ngi fi kenn waxul leen dara. But what if lan moo fi jar am na ñoo xam ne ñu ngi toog even su nekkee ne you are not locked at one place sax ñu ngi la bàyyi yaa ngi sa kër sax you will not have that peace of mind, you will not sleep. soo génnee sax doo mën a sigi di xool nit ñi.
jërëjëf
waxal ne man maa def nangam rek affaire la.
wax ne de loguñ la waaye yaa ngi log sa bopp.
Yeah.
waaw.
Yeah.
That's it. Because you can't go anywhere.
No.
Yeah,
because doo dem dëj.
The moment you go out, you know what's on your mind is what are they saying about me? What are they talking about?
No, even what will happen to me? Are these people mad at me? Are they angry?
Are they angry with me? Do they want to see my face? This and that.
Li gën a garaaw sax they will just face someone will just face you right now, and then nga ne kii man la moo xool te fekk xoolu la sax mu ngi xool ki nekk sax.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
So they're guilty all the time.
Your peace of mind will be taken away from you.
For sure.
You will not have sanity.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's take a look at another news.
Now let's go over to the Fourier newspaper. We've seen Fourier newspaper. Jacqueline will deal with the accident that claimed 8 lives, which was very sad. We've seen water shortage hit Sarengai village. That's the community of Sarengai village in Wuluwas district of the Upper River region has been hit by severe water shortage. You know, Sarengai village, with a population of over 2,000 inhabitants, hold a weekly market Lumo, market commonly called Lumo, every Monday, when over 10,000 people will converge in one of the busiest business atmosphere in the URR. The water shortage came about when the only borehole developed a technical problem, leading to a complete halt in water supply for the village. We've seen the Fourier reporter went around to find out how residents were faring with the unavailability of water, particularly during the holy month of Ramadan, when this part of the Gambia is the peak of the dry and hot season, but was overwhelmed with how people struggle to travel kilometers across the border into Senegal to fetch water for domestic and other use. So, which I think is very, very painful, because I can't imagine a whole village with only one
source of water.
Yes, one source of water. The whole village. Because especially looking at the market, you know, because they have every Monday there's a Lumo. There's a Lumo, and we know the Lumo. You have different type of people, you know, just coming to converge at one place. You know, that alone. On that day, it might be there would be even shortages of water, you know, on that day, because we've seen what the Alcalo said. The Alcali of Sarengai said, not only that, because even with the availability of that borehole, still now they were facing shortages, you know, of water, honestly.
Yeah. But can you imagine, you know, having to cross kilometers
to Senegal
to fetch water, and then you understand that most of these things jigéen ñi ñoo ko dee def, and we are in the month of Ramadan. Nga expect jigéen ñi jóge or jigéen dañoo dem kilometers to fetch water, jigéen ñi ñooy togg and ndogu ñooy togg. No, jigéen dëgg jigéen ñi.
That's why women are the most vulnerable in any kind of situation.
Yeah.
But my point is the rural area is suffering from water situation.
What about the livestock?
The urban area, exactly. I mean, the livestock cannot survive without water, especially in the urban rural areas that, you know, they deal in famine. You know, it's difficult to live in such an area where there is shortage of water. When you everything you deal with is with water.
Yeah, definitely. You might even lose your cattle during this period because they cross to other villages.
Some of them
and we know we are in the dry season. There's not much grass for the animals to feed on. It's very hot.
Some of these animals will cross to other villages.
Yes.
They soon cross them to other villages.
It might be difficult for them to come back. Yeah, it might be difficult for those animals to come back. Yeah. But need I guess. People are afraid to do such.
No, what I think authorities should really, definitely step up.
Yeah.
They should not even wait for philanthropists.
No.
They should step up, try to see to it that these people, get the water that they need. I cannot be here, happily satisfied that I have what I have everything, and
while your people are suffering.
Gambian brothers,
they have the right. That is their right. They have the right to have water. Access to water.
They have to provide with water.
A lot of rural areas water shortage is a huge problem to them.
Visit these villages.
Man.
If you go and visit these villages, you experience
the way of life. Sometimes you go to certain villages.
All Gambians are enjoying like the way you are enjoying.
No.
You don't know unless and until
you go to those villages.
I advocate for every Gambian, all right? Despite where you stay or despite your status,
Yeah.
Did them visit provinces so that you have experience. At the end of the day, so naked in position, all right?
Exactly, you better try and do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying. These days I'm going out much, going to the provinces.
How far?
I think I've gone countrywide.
Countrywide?
Yeah.
Meaning you visited all the 7 regions in this country?
Yeah, I did that in 2018-19 when I went with the CRC in the nationwide tour. I did that. When we had free time, sometimes we'd go in search of other stories apart from the Constitutional Review Commission.
And I think there was a day I also sent them to Nyomi.
Yeah, he sent us to Nyomi. We took the ferry up to the border at Amdalai in search of news stories.
Nyomi is not far. Nyomi is like the outskirts of Banjul.
It's not far, but do the people within the greater Banjul area know how the people
I am telling you, I have known someone who have musta dem Nyomi.
Yeah, exactly.
Because at one time, man musta ek ferry. I was like shocked. Like seriously, kon you musta dem Nyomi. Eguma ferry nga manage dem Nyomi.
Someone who never reaches Brikama.
Really?
Wow.
It's happening. Don't worry.
We don't explore.
Yeah.
We don't explore. We need to be tourists in our own country,
Yeah. Why so travel to as far as Sarangai. Sarangai is like as far as Basse up there.
Wow.
Then you can understand that definitely they're living the life different from yours.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Now we also look at the Voice newspaper. On the Voice newspaper. We've seen Honorable Magasi is the new Gambia diplomat in Paris. All right. Well, that according to the newspaper. All right. They say His Excellency President Adam Barrow has appointed Honorable Mohamed Magasi, former National Assembly members for Basse constituency, as consul for the Gambia embassy in Paris, France, according to a reliable source. This development came after he had completed his term as NAM and stepped down from contesting in a recently concluded 2022 parliamentary election. Well, we don't know how accurate this information is, because lately we've also seen so many appointments, but at the end of the day, people who were mentioned in those appointments
were never mentioned.
Well, they've never received any letter, any confirmation. So I don't know, because this one is also basing their facts on reliable sources. Yeah, so we don't know how true this thing is, but maybe we can verify this. On Monday we can bring confirmation. But as of now, it's just on the newspaper. We don't know whether it's true or not. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Until then. Now we also saying NCP is not dead, according to Manjago Samusa. Manjago Samusa, former nominated member of the National Assembly and senior official of the National Convention Party, has hit back at critics that say his party is dead. He said that's just an opposition. It is from UDP. NCP blocks UDP from entering the State House. That party is still strong. If NCP is less than 10 people, it is because those 10 people that are blocking them from entering the State House, he claimed. He said, if you see the president selecting a minister from that 10 people party, a parliamentarian from the 10 people party, and also ambassador, then the president knows what is NCP. The National Convention Party is not going anywhere. We are sticking to President Barrow. When he leave, we leave. He said he echoed that he fought as an opposition and got into the parliament, but Ousainou couldn't fight to get into parliament. Adding that Halifa Sallah, Sidia Jatta, Ahmad Ba are all party leaders who also fought and got into parliament, but Ousainou couldn't. However, he said he is more recognized when it comes to archive than Ousainou because he had served the legislative as an opposition. He said, I make a legacy. President Barrow make a legacy. He won an election in 2 good terms. I won National Assembly election, but Ousainou never won anywhere, not even Alcalo position. He could not even win in his own village. One can say what Sirif Diba achieved in his political career, but Ousainou couldn't in his political career. Honorable Samusa emphasized that the former Vice President Ousainou Darboe never win election in his own village, Bansang, for 35 years in politics. He said politics is interesting. In anything you are doing, you put your interest. People can say I am inconsistent, but I disagree because I am following my interest. That's it. He comes clean. He is following his interests. Politics is all about interest.
Yeah.
And we've always said here, sa interest fum neka fangay dem. That's what politics is all about.
Mungi wax fi mu ne adding that Halifa Sallah, Sidia Jatta and Ahmad Ba are all party leaders who also fought and got into parliament. Do you think a leader like Ousainou will ever want to go to the parliament?
Well, I don't know.
Why not?
Why not?
If why he has been singing and singing and singing, it will come to play. If he wants to play the lyrics to the songs that he has been singing, I mean, the parliament is another way to get what he wants.
Yeah.
Talking about nation building and stuff.
Because we've seen Mai Ahmed Fati, when he knew that getting to the presidency is difficult, he said, okay, I can contribute my own quota. Let me go and stand for elections, and if I win, I'll find my course. The parliament.
I
mean, it's another arm of government. I mean, legislative.
So I don't think it's bad for political leaders to be at the National Assembly. In fact, it will make it the best National Assembly if you have all the political leaders.
Imagine you have a National Assembly with Ousainou Darboe and let's say
Mai Ahmed Fati. You also have CA.
Dr. Ismail Cisse,
wow.
Where you have Halifa Sallah or Sidia, and you have GDC, Mama Kande. It would be a vibrant one.
But unfortunately, what their mind is set up is being the president of the republic.
Of the country.
That's okay. All right, but but I don't think that where the likes of Ousainou would want to go to the parliament.
Perhaps you never know. It can come as a surprise.
I am saying no to that.
Why not?
Man, according to what I believe, I don't think so. I am entitled to my opinion.
You're entitled.
I don't think so. I don't think ever the likes of Ousainou would ever want to contest for assembly elections.
Yeah, you are entitled to your opinion.
Yeah,
and you are right.
Do we have anything else?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that does it, right?
That does it, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go for a break because we don't have enough time. And then when we come back, we'll take a look at what is trending on social media by Jacqueline Coley. You're still watching The Breakfast Show. jërëjëf mbokk yi ñu dellusiwaat again di leen dolli fàttali ne yéen a ngi ànd ak Star TV ak programme bi The Breakfast Show. We don't have much time to waste, so we go straight and take a look at news that trend on social media.
Thank you very much, Lipsy. So we begin with the FAT network today, as usual. And yesterday we talked about, the NAM for Fonyi Kansala calling on Jammeh's return. Now the National Assembly Speaker, newly elected, that is Fabakary Tombong Jatta, also joins the call for the return of President Yahya Jammeh. Now, APRC strongman and current Speaker of the National Assembly has joined the call to return of former President Yahya Jammeh. Now, according to Fabakary, revenge and humiliation of our ex-presidents for the mistakes they made is a major reason responsible for their refusal to hand over power. He said, and I quote, "I have been an advocate since I became a parliamentarian in 1997, especially at the Pan-African and ECOWAS parliaments, that Africa must revisit the way we treat our former presidents. This issue of revenge and humiliation of our ex-presidents for the mistakes they made is responsible for their refusal to hand over power," he said. Do you believe that?
Yes, there is sense in what he is saying.
What sense? Make it out for me.
Imagine a leader and you've caused so much atrocities, so many atrocities.
Yeah.
You didn't do, you were not okay with what you were doing. Understand? Then you win la. Am at the back of your mind.
No.
You will have to face justice. Understand? ñeneen yu bari loolu la moo explain ñeneen yu bari dañ dee bañ a wàcce because xam nañ ne suñu wàccee am na yar yu leen a xaar.
Definitely.
dañ leen a dóor yar yooyu noonu.
Well, we all know that the International Criminal Court is created just for African leaders.
You think so?
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Why do you say so?
Because ñoom rek lañ fa yóbbu.
Yeah, because am na dëkk yoo xam ne dañ génn.
ñoom rek lañ fa yóbbu
because that's what they believe as well.
Honestly, you go to Western countries, America and others, they don't. They are not even signatories to it.
Wow.
Yeah. So people, African head of states are afraid. Why Tammy man si ñoom la. All right, because gis nañ président yu bari yi nga xamante ne def nañ seen mandate wàcc nañ and dara jotul leen. They live in peacefully in their country.
Fekk ñooñu.
All right. Waaye ñooñu they don't commit any atrocities.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Waaye yow doo mun a toog ngay commit li nga xam ne ay njuuj njaaj at the end of the day you expect people just to forgive you just like that.
Yeah.
No, it cannot.
Gis nga reasons yooyu moom la gaa di am at the back of their mind pour bañ a relinquish power. Because imaginal nga embezzle the government coffers.
No, I'm not even talking about embezzlement. But killing your own people.
I am coming to that.
Torturing your own people.
Not only killing, because they embezzle as well.
Yeah, embezzlement of funds, public funds.
Exactly. They embezzle public funds. But they commit some atrocities like murder and torture, rape, then nga boole yépp together, knowing fully well that I am the one who committed all this. Te suma wàccee obviously luwa mu ngi ma xaar ndax yar yi ñoo ma war a dal. du ma nangoo wàcca. That is the reason why ñu dee bañ a relinquish power.
That is what he's saying.
Su nekkee ne you've done good, it will not take you time for you to relinquish power. Understand? But soo gisee gars yi di ko dee bañ a dem xam nañ lan lañ dee def yow ñi nga joxe exemple ñoo xam ne dañ leen dóor rek ñu wàcca ñooñu amuñ benn problème bu ñu def.
defuñ ay njuuj njaaj.
dara topp leen seen doole lii dara topp leen xam nañ ne ñun dañu rule xam nga with dignity with pride. Understand? dañ def everything loo xam ne loolu la ñu war a def in their power for the country and to see people.
But Fabakary is saying Jammeh should return so that all the accorded and all privileges will be accorded to him. But as we can see, a lot of NAMs are coming up with the same voice of calling out for the Jammeh should come back. Once that paper is brought into Parliament, do you think there is any possibility
the issue is not only for Jammeh to be given all accord that's supposed to be given to an ex-president. He has to clear his name first.
Yeah.
If he is ready to come back and face, for example, justice, right, and face the victim family in a court of law, and then he is vindicated. Well, then they can give him all the privileges that he deserves.
But what I'm saying,
but in case that that does not happen, my friend, it's going to be very difficult.
It's going to be difficult. But what I'm saying is, once that paper is brought to Parliament for Jammeh to come back, do you think there's a possibility that most of them will vote for that bill for Jammeh to come back? Or that paper?
No, but it's based on conditions. That are in that paper.
Yeah.
But we also know that there is also a TRRC recommendation which the government is having right now, and they need to act on those recommendations. Yeah.
So in order for those recommendations to be acted on, don't you think Jammeh should be here to face what he has been accused of, because it has not been confirmed? He has not accepted. He has not pleaded guilty. It's not a court. It's people who were giving their testimonies.
Yeah.
So,
now you're speaking my language. You said if he comes back, if he wants to come back, that's what you said. Remember a few days ago I said the same thing. I said if Jammeh wants to come back, no one is stopping Jammeh from coming back. Jammeh can come back and answer to his crimes, because what we want is Jammeh to face justice. And what we want is Jammeh to come back. So if you want to volunteer and come back, we will welcome that idea. To say, okay, now you're ready, you're set, then come back. Come and face justice. Come and answer to your crimes. These were the things said about you. You were accused of these things: atrocities, rape, murder, embezzlement, whatever. If you're ready to answer that, then come. Then we will welcome him with open arms, and then he will come and face justice. So that's what we are saying. This is his country. He ruled this country. He was born in this country. So he has every right to come to this country if he wants to answer to his crimes. Yeah. That's what we want.
Definitely.
Yeah, but you think he will do that?
That's the question. Whether he will do it,
because I was expecting that during the TRRC, at least he would participate, he would voluntarily participate, just to clear his name. But he don't participate.
I do not expect.
You all know Jammeh and his ego and his pride and stuff. Yeah. I don't think he would have even accepted.
But he doesn't
talk about it. He doesn't even mention about it. Several times we had Jammeh audios. There was no mention.
So TRRC, to talk of the TRRC, man, I never thought for once that Jammeh was going to come to the TRRC.
Perhaps for him, the TRRC was just trash.
And then don't sit down to see what will be the outcome of the TRRC. To see what will be the outcome of the TRRC.
I will call him a wise man, because sometimes he's wise. I will call him a wise man.
But
perhaps
he's not wise.
But
no, he needs to swallow his pride.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
So much ego.
Yeah,
so much ego.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at another story on the FASO network, and a movement within the NPPs, the National People's Party, dubbed Operations Cleanse NPP, has launched a movement calling for the resignation of party regional executives after the party's dismissal performance. This malperformance in the combos in the recent National Assembly elections. Now led by Funding Balde as the chairman, the group conveyed their dismay over the outcome of the recent parliamentary election. Funding, who read the statement on behalf of the movement, said the dismal performance was as a result of the incompetence of the regional executives of the party, thus calling for the resignation of all regional executives in Banjul, Kanifing Municipal Council, and West Coast region. He said, and I quote, "We can't sit with our hands crossed. The difference between the presidential elections and any elections is huge. Members of NPP are not happy. We are here to express our disappointment and call for the government to dismantle the regional executive. The president, rather, to dismantle the regional executive. The selection of the leadership was not proper, and this brought disunity to the leadership. The selection of incompetent people led to the dismal performance of NPP in the National Assembly elections." He called for the restructuring of the party. We talked about this. A lot of parties need restructuring. But I think I kind of agree with this group here. They need to restructure their party, because if you could see, there is a huge difference between the NA elections and that of the presidential elections. One might blame it on the voter apathy, but I believe, like what he said, the way they selected the leaders were not proper. That's what they're saying. That if it was done in a proper way, perhaps they would have won more seats, or they would have won within the Greater Banjul area and that of West Coast region. What is your take?
No. sometimes the selection might be done in a very proper way, and then after you knew them and they definitely change job. So I don't think that is the issue here. I'm not saying it was done in a proper way. I'm not saying that. But sometimes it can be done in a proper way. And
it's not the first time that we're hearing about stuff of the leadership not selected in a proper way, because that was why we see a lot of NPP people going out to stand as independent candidates.
I just want to focus on one thing. They have not done what they're supposed to do. Whether they select in a proper way or not, I'm not sure. But at least they should have at least have 1 seat or 2 or 3 within the combos. Understand? Why we're talking about the incumbent, the party of the incumbent. And then we've seen in the presidential election where the incumbent won a landslide victory. And then the first win the whole of Banjul, win KM, and then West Coast. There was a landslide victory, and all of a sudden, within few months, National Assembly election, guys struggle. 3 months, they struggle to
get a seat within the
exactly. So a question must be raised, and then is true. So what I'm not sure whether it was done in a proper way. They believe it was not done in a proper way. One, I don't want to focus on that. What I want to focus on is whether in a proper way or not a proper way. I believe they should not.
The presidential election is different from the national assembly election.
No, it is different,
right?
It's different in a sense that if you look at the presidential election, it was a combination of how many political parties for the NPP, how many political parties. APRC were also there. You also have PPP. You also have NRP, and then NCP, and other, independent candidates, that came forward to mobilize, because they mobilized all their efforts, to fight for one goal. And that goal was to win the presidential election, and they did that. And this time around in the National Assembly election, I think most parties stand on their own. APRC stands on their own, NCP and NPP stand on the effort, the mobilization effort that they did during the presidential election was not the same input that they did in the National Assembly election. And that's why they lose, for the number of seats that they wanted to have. Now, the people who are holding positions, we've seen they have been, blamed on several quarters. Banjul, we've also seen even Ahmad Jite sitting on Star TV, with Lamin Jai, saying the selection committee there, were biased, were this and that, So you see, so I think these people have a right, all right? They have a right to say, okay, we are not satisfied with the regional leaders that the president gives us, all right? We want, new people. New people should come on board, because for me, there should be a total overhaul of everything. All right, they should sit back and look again. Why did we lose in places that the president have already won? Why? They need to ask questions on that, and then they need to look at what are the responsibilities of that, and then they tackle those things. If they know that the people who were doing the selection process, we are not doing it on the right way, why don't hesitate? Remove them. And I think maybe they would go to Congress very soon. Yeah. So if they go to Congress, that is a very good chance, of them rectifying all the mistakes.
You're right, Sarah. If you have to talk about the number of parties that formed the coalition during the presidential election,
the effort, the input that they put,
but yet still,
and on the Parliament is quite different.
It's quite different, but I believe they should have maintained one strategy that they were doing during the presidential election. When the president went on tour, there were people out there who didn't go with the president. They were left in the combos, and they were campaigning for the president. They separated themselves.
It was a team effort.
Why didn't they do that during the presidential election? Even the other parties see them in their own ways, but you've got people within the party. Some top dogs within the party. They want to use, and they do the same strategy. If you go to URR, ñooñu ñu ngi Kombo South ñeneen ñu dem to the North Bank region ñeneen dem fële just the same strategy like
and even the campaign in Kombo South you know Kombo South Kombo North I haven't seen the president
I'm going to think is there I'm going to think is election bi if you look at the elections there was a time you could have it if you look at the elections it was boring amud noise so topé loolu rek yow tam ko toog and then nga def at the back of your mind you got landslide just 3 months
thank you very much Sirvo Sogo sat here and said some of it might be overconfidence you know
I agree
they've won landslide victory overconfidence you know of winning
overconfidence because
I wouldn't blame them because if you look at the margin between and the president's elections, I mean, even I would have sit down and rest my shoulder. I'm like, don't worry, I've already won this election. It was so normal.
You're talking about more than 200,000 votes.
Yeah,
that's the margin.
That's the margin.
More than 200,000 votes. So obviously, you have that confident. Come on. And then Gambia, then this culture of voting for the president and then voting for his National Assembly member. Understand? So, believe nga talk the affect.
Yeah. So all I'm trying to say is, all I'm going to say before we move to another story is, perhaps this one might, cause a lot for NPP. They might lose a lot this might make them lose a lot because right now there's a diversion because these people are not happy with the way the leadership is going.
Yeah.
What about the party militants? They will be left confused. They will be like, who's right and who's wrong? I don't know where to believe.
Yeah, I believe they will correct this. Understand? They will come together and then find a solution towards this. Because Soko Defut Fee, Yangi encourage other members of the party to gain new
Let's take a look at another story. This has to do with sports and is from the Brikama Council of Elders as they strip off the sport committee over the football field management. Now, the Council of Elders of Brikama, locally referred to as Bulunda, has written a letter to the Gambia Football Federation informing them of their decision to take over the management of the Brikama Box Mini Stadium from the Brikama Sports Committee. Now, according to the letter received this morning, the decision to take over the management of the town's mini stadium from the sports committee is a unified decision following their discontent and disapproval of the day-to-day management of the field by the Brikama Sports Committee. Now, the Council of Elders of Brikama alleged that there is a lack of transparency in the management of the field from financial to operational matters. The letter says that such practices have put the committee in darkness. This resulted to us being completely disconnected from it for several decades, the letter captures. The letter went further to state that the Brikama community is not benefiting any financial gains from the proceeds which are acquired from the usage of the field. The construction and allocation of commercial canteens around the premises of the field are said to have been done without the approval of the Council of Elders, according to the letter sent to the Gambia Football Federation and seen by the Fast Network. This also added fuel to the need for Bulunda to take over the management of the field. But these people are put in place to manage the field.
Yeah.
What do okay, you were trying to say something even before we started the program, so I'll let you because elaborate.
I'm kind of confused here because normally a committee of committees were selected by stakeholders.
Yeah, the stakeholders. Yeah,
they will have to go to Congress, AGM Congress, and then they select a committee. Then stakeholders in for the money gain what?
Yeah.
So in this case, the Council of Elders for gain. Lola to understand. I don't know how Malan Monica. I don't know what is in Brikama the sports committee. I don't know what kind of constitution they're using.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Council of Elders I'm that door and I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I was one time a committee member at Serakuna West to understand in the committee stakeholders they elect and then them for. According to Serakuna West, after 4 years, and them AGM, then Congress, and then you said, so you can buy food, you buy them, they will elect someone else. Understand? But what right do they have to take over this from the council, from the executive, and then you manage and Nyom Sen Bopa? That is my worry. Do they have that right? in fact, so if I can right or whatever, believe me, according to sources, in the next 2 months, go and get them elections. Why not you sit with the committee and then talk to them? Or you have just 2 months, they will go to elections, and then after the Congress vote, and then they vote them out. I think that's the easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Another
complaint that they're complaining is that the management is not transparent. They're not transparent. I mean, they are asking about the financial operations that takes place there, because a lot of artists do use the Box Bar to host their shows, and they pay for that.
Yeah.
Perhaps they're asking, where is all this money going? Because they said they're not benefiting from it.
Yeah, then maybe because the committee have not been organizing AGMs, because almost every end of season, every year, you should go for an AGM, and in that AGM there are reports that you need to prepare, because then I'm the activity report. You have a financial report.
Yeah.
So that activity report tells you every event that ever happened in that park. And the financial report tells you what was gained, what was spent, how was it spent. So you have all this. So they've been having activity reports and financial reports. Then obviously, they don't understand and what is the balance.
Yeah.
Then they don't understand. Maybe they've not been having that. So more did them the complaint. And so that is the truth. Then obviously they fail to do their responsibility, because that is constitutional. Then you have to go for an AGM, putting and enlighten people. Stakeholders need to know what is coming in and what is going out. And then subsystem, they're in the problem all the time.
Yeah.
If you take a look at KMC, for example, you go there and you send subsidy within Serekunda West Park. You put the blame on the committee.
Yeah.
The committee I'm coming. Example
Okay.
I'm not saying that lolu mo nek di happen fofu. I'm not saying that nga fogg ne committee bi ñoo nek di joxe lolu fekk it's the area council that is doing that.
Yeah.
So in that Birkama, maybe tam hegna lolu la. Then they need to sit with the committee and then talk to them. Then they understand fan la allocation subsidy.
Yeah.
Whether it's the council that is giving out the subs, because park council is ñoko mom, to make it clear.
Yeah.
Committee bi mo buñ ko. Council bi ñoo mom park bi. They're just a custodian to the park. But parks are owned by the council. So council, most of the time, little more they happen. So to make it clear, they need to sit with the committee, talk to them. So let them just wait for after 2 months, and then they go to Congress to vote them out. I think no
Yeah.
Well, I think GFF shouldn't allow this to happen.
Yeah.
All right. They shouldn't allow the Council of Elders to take over, the management of,
they were voted in by the
stakeholders.
The Box Bar Ministerium. I think they have a sport committee. Let them allow the sport committee, to continue their work until they go for Congress. When they go to Congress, then they make their changes.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So managing sports and managing stalls is quite different.
It is.
It's quite different. If there is a mismanagement, they have a right to take those people to tax. That they have to provide these funds, because I think they have AGM.
Yeah.
Right, and in the AGM, the reports that these people provide, they can petition the report.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but to say they are going to take over, of the management of the affairs of the Birkama, Box Bar Ministerium. Wow, no, because right now it's just recently that GFF installed the artificial turf.
Yeah. Exactly.
Honestly, and that comes from GFF pocket.
Yeah.
That doesn't come from the Council of Elders.
No,
it doesn't.
Definitely.
The sports committee were voted in office by the stakeholders.
Yes, they have stakeholders.
Exactly. I'm right to put you gain in. I don't know what their constitution says. Whether Council of Elders it has to look at. I don't know. But it's funny.
Maybe it's left with the in their constitution. They have to look at the constitution, and they also have to look at what GFF also wants, what also GFF require from parks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I know that at the end of the day, GFF will also write a letter.
Yeah.
Because GFF could even say now, okay, you either withdraw your statement, stay away, or we stop football in Brikama. Finish. And because that is interference.
Yeah, they're interfering in the affairs.
Because in fact, stages. Even before aga GFF, you have stages because you have the sports committee. Engage them, talk to them. So if I can, there are work out. Engage the regional sports committee. The regional sports committee. There are committees that you need to engage.
And I also believe if I don't even think that they have engaged the sport committee before they wrote this letter to the GFF. If they did, perhaps we would have heard about it.
Exactly.
Well, you just don't jump from the frying pan and then to the fire.
Yeah.
I mean, you take the due process. But elders and the way they think is different from us.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's move to the Alcamba Times and look at another story on sports, of course, and it has to do with Brikama Steel. Brikama United bluster squad with Baji and Kebe signing. Now, the coach Nyasi, who has been nominated for the Coach of the Month, has heaped praise on his new signings, Ibrahim Abaji and Babukar Kebe, through the latter, and has never played in the Gambian Force Dire. It will add a balance to the team, he said, in terms of selections. We need competition in the team. I will try to bring a system that will fit the key players and see what is possible. I hope they will help the team, especially in the second round. We need experienced players, Nyasi stressed. Nyasi also lamented on the lack of proper talent identification as it almost cost his side. Now, this is the part that is why I brought up the story.
Wow.
This part is why I brought up the story. He said, the lack of Nawetan disturbed us. We get most of our players from the Nawetan. Bangura was spotted in the Nawetan. It affected us. The number of matches we drew, especially the starting of the league, 5 to 6, is a result of a slow start. 5 players from Greater Tomorrow FC and Papis Nyasi also left. It's normal, but we are catching up and working hard to put pressure on the leaders, Wilder Banjul. Nyasi's team, of course, is second with just 1 point behind Wilder Banjul, and he is eyeing his second title as a coach. In the first round, our objective was to be part of the top 3, and gladly we have achieved that. Now our focus is on how we are going to maintain this position. We are looking for, first, we need to win key matches at all costs. It's going to be difficult and tiresome, but it's about calculation, he added. When we were talking about the parks not being used, Sarah mentioned, this was about months ago, Sarah mentioned something that is very important, that Nawetan is where these kids show their talents.
Definitely.
This is where they show people what they can do. And what the Brikama coach is saying, yes, is that the lack of Nawetan this season cost them a lot, because that is where they spot out good players. And most of the players that they spotted out in Nawetan, they have left the team. That is why Brikama United had a slow start. But now they are second on the table. What do you have to say about this, Sarah? The lack of Nawetan, because it has affected some teams like Brikama United themselves.
No, it's not even only Brikama United. It has affected the whole team.
The whole country. The whole country.
Yeah, exactly. Because that is only a place where clubs, scout for raw talents. Right, but now it is not happening, and at the end of the day, you can see the impact. It have even caused, some of the maybe I would say even the first divisions, they are not feeling the impact.
No.
But the second division teams,
and
right now, and third division team are feeling the impact, because why? They don't get the quality players that they want.
Yes.
Because what's happening? The first division teams, would just look at the second division and third division, their best players, snatch them, take them. But the third division and second division don't have players who are going to replace those ones. Why? Because of raw talent is not being scouted. Why? Because there's no Nawetan.
Yeah.
So I think
why there's no Nawetan? There's not enough parks. But hopefully the parks will be ready.
Exactly. Nawetan should start again.
The good thing about having Nawetan is, sometimes you have these kids who are talented and they can play football very well. Kids that are skillful, but they would not have the ego, or they would not have the zeal to go to this to go to these first division teams and try their luck or whatever. So what they do is they will just wait for Nawetan and they will play, and then from there scouts falling and they pay. You scout them and then take them to these first division teams. So Nawetan is a period that brought about happiness. It connects communities together, and then people will live together and happily. That jubilant fans, celebration elsewhere.
Look at the
even the elderly people.
The zonals.
Because it is going back to the communities. if you take a look at the league, the way it is, the definition of the league,
talking about ownership,
then people will claim ownership because if Pincher is playing and I am a native of Pincher, obviously the madam put support. I will contribute my quota towards their success. So Lulu of the India that happiness. That the motor. If you ever worked in an executive, a sports committee, then especially this past 2 years, every day you will find someone to tell you even Paisa, they will want to happen.
Definitely.
So teams they rely on this Nawetans because any match board them see passing. You see officials from first division teams, not they've come there to watch game just like that, but they're scouting players. You wouldn't know,
and that boosts the players because some of the players know these people very well. Whenever they see them in the field, it boosts their morals. They play more because they want to be scouted to play in the first division teams.
Because it is more entertaining than the league. It is more interesting to watch than the league. And if you don't have Nawetan, you cannot have zonals. And if you don't have zonals, you cannot prepare your teams for the first division or talk less of the national team.
And perhaps if these parks are ready, we'll be seeing our the female division be playing closer to us because they play in Basoria and Soma.
Exactly.
Red Scorpions.
And we've been advocating about having grassroots football, developing young players from the grassroots. That doesn't mean it has to come from the first division. It means it has to come from the Naweta.
It has to start from there. Everything starts from somewhere.
Everything starts from there. So Soko Amut from there, Soko Amut Fufununu, Nawetan Amut. Imagine all these 2 years without Nawetan. It was definitely boring.
Definitely.
There was no life. Amuñ waxtaan boobu waxtaane campé boobu noonu play bi nangam ba pare xam nga tawetaan si la play ndaw yi dee xajaan ñoom it fa la ñoo jënd daala yu seer diw seen lekk si ba moo saay commencé di faaru xale yu jigéen ñi mel ni ñoom sax ñoo nekk celebrities ñoom fa la loolu that's their time comme lu ñaan comme woy ñaan time boobu tam is their time fa la dee faaru ñoom Jayna Ba so seen defin yooyu noonu so if they don't have that then obviously the family in fact football doesn't even exist because that's what they believe in.
Let's take a look at another story on the Alcamba Times. Now, road accidents, and the question on this report is Gambia's traffic becoming a death trap? Roads in the Gambia have become a death trap for commuters, road users and passengers in small West African nation. Within 1 month, road accidents have claimed the lives of more than 30 people in the country. The most recent accident occurred on Wednesday, 28th April, between Kili and Kabakor in Fonyi in the West Coast region, involving a truck and a galegale. This accident claimed 8 lives on the spot, and the police immediately opened an investigation. Meanwhile, the preliminary reports revealed that both vehicles were swerving to avoid an animal crossing the road, leading to a collision. Over the past 5 years, the Gambia witnessed a surge in the number of fatal road accidents, which may attribute to careless and reckless driving. The rate of road accidents is worrying to many people, and Superintendent Jai has called on drivers to exercise due care at all times. In the Gambia, an average of 115 people die annually from road traffic accidents. Police accident statistics show that more than 750 road accidents occur annually, and in addition to deaths, about 169 people sustain serious injuries each year. The Gambia is ranked 4th in the world when it comes to road traffic accidents and deaths. According to the latest WHO data published in 2018, road traffic accidents and deaths in the Gambia reached 657, or 4.72% of total deaths. In 1 month, we have registered already 32 deaths of road accidents.
Small Gambia.
And every day,
small Gambia.
As small as we are, we registered fourth in the world.
And then you think it is only caused by reckless driving?
No.
It's not only that. What they also supposed to work on, Monica Sunyoni. The road is not the standard roads that we have right now. Why not they redefine everything? At least fingam dene ben mungfa. You try because for alala. All right. Fingam ne they say ben. They try to straighten it up. Honestly, sometimes when you bend, you don't even know who is coming. Honestly.
Excuse.
Yeah.
But
so it's not only about reckless driving. It's more than that.
But it's more than that. But statistics shows that. Statistics shows that.
But it's more than that. You're right about it. But reckless driving.
And then there was a time the guy don't want okay legi balanga am sa lancin dafa am ay test yo def it's all mere talks. People are getting their license the same way they used to get their license.
Anyway, I want to say this.
Honestly,
believe Nane, many of these road accidents is not because of mechanical fault.
No.
It has to do with reckless driving, because yena driver is in Baba. Then you're double motor, you're tired, you're sleepy, you feel like taking a nap. You didn't go and do that, but you still insist on driving. Then you sleep along the way. And if you drink as well, you are intoxicated. That cause accident. Motor police then you were strict on this. If you're found drink driving, they should charge you strictly to avoid others from doing that. A charge for drink driving should be that harsh. A charge for someone sleeping and driving should be that harsh as well. Then at least would discourage people from doing that. And I believe most of this that reckless driving is because they're sleepy, or they were sleeping driving, or they were drunk and they're driving. And then the youths as well. Most of these gele is the experienced drivers because that's their trade. That's what they do. But the thing is sometimes, especially they hire motor, the Louis motor in. You go to the Senegambia area, they do it for fun. Then they're chilling as to can more garamuna daw, can more da 360, can more da. This will cause accident at the end of the day. Imagine in 1 month we registered 30 people.
Less than a month.
30 people. What is the size of this country? So if you continue having 30, at the end of the day,
but you also look at the area. The full accident they're gonna occur.
No, I agree with you. I agree. I concur with what you said. But I was just saying, looking at it generally, to tell you, exactly. Most of the time, it's not mechanical fault, so it has to do with reckless driving. And reckless driving, it is only because
traveling towards those areas.
Yes, and reckless driving. Look at the cause. Most of the time, maybe the driver was sleeping, or the driver was drunk,
was
overspeeding.
Yeah.
If you're drunk, danga overspeed, because danga bus mu ne yang en de longa tik rek di bus. Danga overspeed.
Definitely. Let's take a look at these two stories. We don't have time. And FIFA sent a congratulatory message to Papa Gassama for officiating the match between Algeria and Cameroon during the World Cup playoff. Algerians were making a lot of noise that Papa Gassama did not, whistle that match fairly, and stuff. And they even said they were going to write a report to FIFA. But now FIFA is congratulating Papa Gassama on this job well done for him.
What will they say then?
I don't know.
Meaning he has done a very, very good job.
He has done a very good job. Everyone knows that.
And that match was tense. It was a very tense game.
It was.
And imagine that Papa was bold enough to control that game.
He was. That shows you that he is capable.
That is the caliber of Papa.
Exactly. He has a lot of credibility. He is capable. He's passionate.
Have you watched the AFCON? Has Papa consulted the VR?
No.
I think he was the only referee who has not consulted the VR.
That's capability. That's how you show people that this is my job. I know I can do it. I don't need a video assistant referee to show me that.
To show me whether I've got it right or not.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to him. And this one is
Papa definitely Papa Jambar. We should definitely celebrate Papa. These are the kind of people we celebrate. Doing hard when them, you start to celebrate them. Understand? The likes of Jacqueline, you need to celebrate. I'm serious.
Papa is being celebrated in the Gambia.
No,
Papa is being celebrated.
No, I am giving that example. You go celebrate mom.
Yes.
Okay, like this achievement, Gambians are proud of this achievement. Like us, we're here talking about it. Talk and then we talk about another news
and be like, okay, it's just a congratulatory message, but it is news to us.
We're not celebrating him. We are celebrating him. These are the kind of people. These are the people that you celebrate while they are alive. Understand? And then these are the people they name a structure.
These are the kind of people that you document.
You document them. You name a place after them. You name some venues after them. That means celebrating them. Imagine, for example, Papa Gassama. A sports complex. Gambia mustn't produce referee bu melni Papa Gassama. It used to be something Dimalema. It used to be Musso used to be the best referee in the Gambia. But Musso argued the level that Papa reached.
No.
So Papa mustn't produce a referee bu melni Papa. No. So imagine a sport complex, a football stadium, and then you name that mini stadium after Papa Gassama while Papa is alive, knowing fully well ne fii lañ ma today. Going to that stadium, watching football matches. Dafa content, these are the people you celebrate them, you name venues after them, you show them how we appreciate them. Understand? Give them everything. So because FIFA, with all the criticism, they call him names, they bullied him, they attacked him, but yet still FIFA, the governing body, said, well done, Papa Gassama. And we as Gambians, we are proud.
We're proud of him. Let's take a look at this last one. It's a communique coming from the GFF and it's on the Star TV page. And the Gambia Football Federation wishes to inform its stakeholders and Gambians that contrary to media reports, a decision is not yet reached regarding the venue of our home match in the upcoming AFCON 2023 qualifier. It is worth nothing that should the Independence Stadium is not ready to host the match before our match day qualifier against South Sudan at the end of the May and June. The GFF is looking towards Senegal as the first option in hosting our first home leg of the qualifier. Consequently, now that the draw has been made and having known our opponents, we are in the process of approaching our counterparts in the Federation Senegal, the football on the matter. And when a decision is made, it will be communicated to the general public in due time. Yes, because a lot of people are saying it's confirmed, it's going to be in Senegal. In Senegal, we're going to play in Senegal.
Nothing is confirmed.
Yeah, nothing is confirmed. That's what the GFF is saying.
Let us pray and hope that we will get that venue.
Yeah, because it will be the best thing for us. If we the fans.
If not, I am looking at Rabat.
Morocco.
To go back to Rabat. But Senegal is nearer. At least you don't need to transport many people. So people will go there themselves. Understand?
And we have our Gambian people there also.
Yeah, exactly. Senegal
is also our neighbors.
Yeah, you're talking of the Gambia.
They will also lend us a helping hand.
Yeah, people will go because I myself will. Jacqueline is ready to go. Sarah will have a new crew, a new host of the breakfast show.
Yes, and a co-host.
And a co-host as well. Why wouldn't I go? I start Ablaiwad. I want to go,
but I think pending my approval,
Pending your approval,
all of you, yes.
Really?
Yes. Am I seeking for your approval? Are we seeking for his approval?
We are not seeking for his approval.
We are not seeking.
We already made up our mind that we are going.
Are we seeking for your approval? You will be holding your pen like this, waiting to approve, and then you don't see any people to sign it. Okay, exactly. Dama ragal di ku ñëw office Sara rek bu gis Sara bu téye pen def ni Sara sa pen mu no approval. You don't see any people to approve because we made up our mind already. I think that is the last one.
Yeah, that was the last one on What's Trending on social media. Hopefully when I come your way on Monday we'll have more interesting news to share with you guys. Do stay tuned.
I was told you have some nice jokes that they lip.
Who told you
someone
that?
Told me. Newsroom ladem. After Gadi what I got exactly numune lip. Give it that one funny one.
Oh my God, I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you serious?
No, I don't.
Is it because the cameras are on?
I don't tell stories though.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Sarah, timing though. Like seriously? Some you were living with your granny?
No. I don't live with my granny.
You were not living with your granny?
No. You were living with
I was living with my granny.
Yeah,
definitely. So that time, most of the time when you live with your granny, then they have me and live like you know. Yeah, but anyway, thank you very much. And it's Friday, and then of course that means Saturday we are not going to have the breakfast show, and Sunday we will not have the breakfast show as well. And then Monday, yes, by the grace of Allah, we'll be back to have another edition of the breakfast show and bring you, all the latest updates, news that are captured in the newspaper. We'll review that and then do some analysis as usual. And then of course we're hoping to have a guest on Monday probably. But what we'll do is we'll have to draw the curtain here. Do you want to say something before we go?
No.
So how about you, Sarah?
No.
All right. Thank you very much. We thank our viewers for being there with us. We thank you very much for the pleasure of your company. To our technical crew as well, we say thank you. Ajarama Abaraka. Injola, how do I say it?
Emitekati.
Emitekati.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much. Till Monday, inshallah, by the grace of God.
Bye.